Hi everybody, my name is Rose Santana and this is BIM's Bites. And today we'll be taking a bite out of coastal conservation and restoration. So let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about some of the most important ecosystems that are in danger, especially in our coastal communities. These include mangroves that are in danger because of deforestation, coral reefs that are in danger due to ocean acidification and global warming, just to name two. Seagrass beds that are in danger due to improperly boating, as well as chemical pollution and runoff, and kelp forests that are in danger due to excess nutrients. So let's talk a little bit first about conservation. I know it's a very broad term, but marine conservation is technically just the protection of marine species and ecosystems in our oceans and seas. So this involves protecting specific species such as sharks, whales, dolphins, turtles, protecting populations, and protecting habitats such as the four that we saw earlier, which include mangroves, seagrass beds, coral reefs, and the like. So there are a few ways to do this, and they're not always successful, but we are trying our best. For example, one such way is establishing marine protected areas to protect important habitats and the species that reside in them. Usually each marine protected area is handled a little bit differently, but the overall goal is to reduce as much harm to these areas as possible by reducing human contact as well as fishing and boating. Another major thing that we are working on, and we are not always quite there yet, is reducing marine pollution. This can be, from reducing plastics, metals, debris, chemicals, all of the above. And a very big thing that is an issue is reducing bycatch of marine fisheries and entanglements in fishing gear, especially considering the fact that a lot of the time, the bycatch aren't animals that we want to catch anyways, but they're typically very endangered. So let's talk about restoration. When we're referring to restoration, we're talking about the range of remedies that we as a society undertake to heal injuries that have been caused to our coastal environments. So one of my personal favorites is aquaculture, and everybody's mind typically jumps to aquaculture for food when it comes to this specific topic, but a lot of places have been rearing certain animals to be able to release them back into the wild to supplement their dwindling numbers. For example, my lab at Florida International University, the Coastal Conservation and Restoration Lab, is breeding Caribbean king crabs to be able to release them onto the reefs to help with algal bloom problems that we've been having recently. Two other very cool projects that people have been partaking in are coral outplants, which are corals that are grown in nurseries, and creating artificial reefs by providing structures and letting corals grow on them. And one last thing that I think is super cool are living shorelines. Living shorelines help protect our coast, especially vulnerable coastal communities, from erosion, from sea level rise, and from flooding. So what are some of the common threats, you ask? Well, let's start. Some of the most common threats that we have to our aquatic ecosystems include ocean acidification, climate change, which is an issue globally, overfishing and bycatch, marine pollution, especially when we're looking at chemical pollution, waste pollution, in areas that are still connected to septic tanks. We have a lot of pollution coming from that source, and oil spills, which, we all know now are very detrimental to our environment. And something not that many people always speak about are invasive species. For example, in Florida, we have the lionfish, and these species can come and destroy our natural habitats and outcompete our native species for resources and food. Overall, we have a lot of issues that we are facing in the ocean, and coastal conservation and restoration efforts are working their best to be able to mitigate these as much as we can and repair the damage that's already been done. We still have a lot of work to do, but part of it is just learning about what everybody can do and what efforts are being made. So thanks for tuning in. Please follow, like, and subscribe Black and Marine Science. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you so much. And as always, stay fishy.